Yeah, hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Marvin, and together with my colleague Beate, we'd like to give you a glimpse in the digital healthcare hub at the University Hospital in Münster. Um, yeah, the ecosystem, what Marcus told us about, we already started to build this ecosystem and for the past 2 years, and we've been building this digital healthcare hub, and now we thought maybe it's a good idea to show you what we are doing and how we handle new and big technology changes. And yeah, so let's start. um, as we all know, hospital faces many challenges these days. Just one example, the challenge of demographic change. The number of treatments will increase in the future, but the shortage of workforce in hospitals also is growing. Digital technologies can help us to deal with these problems. It can make some tasks faster, easier, saving time and resources. But as we all know, digital technologies can also be tricky. They are developing faster and faster than ever before, and the speed continues to increase. And the world around us is changing really quickly. And this makes it harder to predict what will happen in the future. Things are getting more complicated, which can make it difficult to understand and to manage everything. And the digital solutions, what was modern today, will be outdated tomorrow. And in this fast changing world of digital technologies, is a really complex challenge for traditional organizations like the University Hospital in Münster. These organizations are built for efficiency, cost saving, avoiding risk. They have like clear structure and guidelines what to do, and they move like big container ships. They are good at sailing the seas, but they cannot move quickly right or left. And yeah, if we look now at digital technologies which are changing quickly around us, you see that this don't fit together. And on the other hand, developing and adapting to digital innovation, it requires really flexibility, risk-taking, and willingness to experiment. And this is similar how really often startups work and operate. They are like small, agile boats. They really easily can change their directions. And many healthcare organizations, including us, they're more like these large chips, and you have these small boards on the other side. And here, in these large organizations, the problem is when you are not allowed to experiment, they cannot experiment. Just an example, if you want to have a doctor who experiment and take risk, I think it's not the best idea. And this is this problem to adopt for these large companies to adopt new technologies. And so we have the solution of this digital healthcare hub in Münster. We have created an ecosystem with to help this digital transformation. The system brings us together with new ideas from outside and inside of the UKM. And we have the environment to test these ideas, and we act as a separate unit as we are in a subsidiary. So we have the freedom just to test, to feel free whatever we want to do with these solutions, and to speed up the digital process with our freedom. We use a fail often and fail early approach. This helps us to avoid wasting time and money on ideas that don't work, and we focus on being flexible, fast, and able to adapt these solutions easily. And our job is to advise the university hospital and suggest actions to do the management. And Beate will now explain how we are doing this.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Marvin. Yeah, since Marvin was just talking about our ecosystem, I simply brought this ecosystem with me visually. The idea is that we are internally a hub for new ideas, for innovative solutions that brings about major changes for the University Hospital Münster. And at the same time, we want to be an interface to our environment. What is our environment? It is stakeholders from research and teaching, it's stakeholders from innovation hubs and networks, different innovation hubs and networks, and of course also startups and established enterprises. This slide is not complete. It should just give you a first idea of our ecosystem. And I will now briefly explain how we try to play an operational role, and how we try to reach its goals with our ecosystem. On this slide, you can see the 4 pillars of the Digital Healthcare Hub. We have trend scouting and research, develop and consult, match and connect, and challenge and learn. In trend scouting and research, we reach out for specific digital trends in the healthcare market. We follow developments to make sure that we get to know relevant topics and to deal with them at an early stage at University Hospital in Münster. For example, we did research for the HR department, how AI can be used in human resources. The second pillar is develop and consult. There we identify opportunities or analyze problems together with employees from the university hospital. Then we develop together solution concepts or research for potential solutions, which are then tested, maybe in a part of a test phase. We then evaluate these tested applications and give a recommendation for the university hospital or for the respective departments. For example, at the moment, we are testing an AI-supported phone bot. In Match and Connect, we connect different stakeholders with each other. The German and also the international startup scene comes with new innovative ideas, and targeted collaborations leads to access to these innovations. And on the other hand, or moreover, we can learn from these collaborations with digital companies in terms of, for example, agile or new working concepts. And on the other hand, the digital startups have the possibility the opportunity to get the possibility to make patient-driven further developments of their solutions, or to validate their solutions with the university hospital. That's why this network we've shown, or this ecosystem we've shown before, is so important for us in our work. And the last pillar is challenge and learn. Here we cooperate with different chairs, researchers, and students to work on practice, problems, and issues. We accompany, for example, research projects or final thesis, seminar papers with these universities. This cooperation links theory and practice, and in research and teaching, of course, and positions, on the other hand, the university hospital as an attractive, innovative employer. Based on the need for Match and Connect, I start the whole slide. based on the need for match and connect. We also set up networks, internal networks in the university hospital. The so-called expert groups are intended to improve the internal networking at UKM, because we found that many employees and researchers are working on similar problems or solutions and did not know from each other. Of course, in a hospital with over 11,000 employees, nobody can have total transparency about which topics are addressed and where at any time. And to ensure that synergies can be used and information on methods or service providers or projects can be passed on, these expert groups should help in networking on specific technological innovations. The Digital Healthcare Hub is something like an interface between these various expert groups on an operational level and the digitalization board, or the in the university hospital, which works more on a strategic level. And it should make sure that relevant information from these expert groups comes to the digitalization board and vice versa. At the moment, we have two expert groups, one on AI and one on augmented reality, but there are probably more to come in the future. And with this, I would like to hand back to Marvin.
Yeah, and this sounds very theoretical. I've brought along just two really easy examples, not the big AI technology examples, but I think all who works in hospital had the same problem with the KZG, that we need to have a patient portal. And yeah, the problem was at the beginning we had a lot of questions at patient portal. What is a suitable patient portal? What consequences does an introduction of patient portals have to the processes, to the organizations? What is important to have in a patient portal, and what we don't want to have? And so that was a really little experiment 1.5 years ago, that we just started a patient portal in a really small area at the university hospital, and said, okay, let's try and see what happens when we introduce it. And together with a startup, Avelius from Munich, we set up the software in just 1 month and tried it out, and we were able to learn really exciting things. So right now we are starting to introduce a big patient portal, but with new organizational changes before that, because all that we learned from this small testing, we can now implement at the big project. And this is just the example how with all new topics, what we want to do, we just want to test and see what is the impact for the university hospital. Just a second example, we have OpenEDC. It was a startup from our faculty. It is a software for data collection in research and in the clinical context, a classical electronic data capture. But the interesting thing here, it is really easy to set up for all the researchers. The researchers can do it by their own. And normally they use like Rottkemper or some other solutions. They all need some IT professionals to set up EDC system, and this costs money. And they said, okay, we won't do it, and every researcher just use Excel for their data collection. And we thought, okay, we have now the solutions, this idea, and we worked with OpenEDC, I think now for 1 year, and just said, hey, every researcher who wants to try this software, just use it. And we see what now where they have come to that. They have the first time they have really structured data, not Excel data, that is really simple and efficient to use, and it's fast available. So in the future, all researchers are available now, and they can just use the software because of we just tried it and give it to some researchers, and now we are deploying it to everybody. At the end, we have some lessons learned with us. Building good network takes time and really hard work. We really need to be patient. Different organizations have different ways of working. We need to understand and work with these differences to work well together. We need to have a clear goal that's really important, and we have to know that hospitals often work more slowly than other places. This can make everything a bit longer to start new things, so we have to plan carefully and don't rush into things. And we know that our staff really want to learn new things. We should give them the chance to learn and grow at work. And to come up with new ideas, we need to let our employees try new things. This can lead to great improvements. Yeah, that was all. And thank you very much.